Migrant apprehensions at the border are at the highest level they've been in more than 70 years. We'll have the latest from our Washington bureau.
Plus, nearly 3 in every 5 college students experience food insecurity. How schools are working with food banks to help.
And later, is 2 better than 1? A Valley High School with a pair of head football coaches who are also twins.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Ryan Tismaneski.
And I'm Camila Williams. Thank you for joining us. New numbers from Custom and Border Protection show a record 1.7 million encounters with migrants at the southern border in fiscal 2021. But experts differ on what those numbers mean, as Kimberly Silverio Batista reports from our Washington bureau.
There's no question the numbers are surprising. The 1.7 million apprehensions in fiscal of 2021 was almost 4 times higher than the year before. But some experts say those numbers can be misleading. Jessica Bolter with the Migration Policy Institute says many of those encounters were with migrants who were trying to cross the border multiple times.
We know that the actual number of individuals who were caught crossing the border is much lower than 1.7 million. We can estimate that it was about 1.1 million.
Repeat crossing or not, critics say the sheer volume at the border cannot be ignored, and it's having an effect on border security.
We've never seen apprehension totals like this in our nation's history. Border Patrol are strained, overwhelmed, and they really can't do their job effectively.
Republicans have blamed the surge on President Joe Biden's decision to reverse many of President Donald Trump's harsh border policies. But a look at border numbers over the last 60 years show the surges have come during Republican administrations, shown here in red, as well in years when Democrats were in charge. One immigration expert says the issue is not likely to go away as long as America is a beacon of freedom to migrants. That means we need to be able to handle those migrants when they show up, says Aaron Reichlin-Melnick of American Immigration Council.
I think we should be working on building out our humanitarian protection systems and ensuring that all people can access protection through a safe, orderly, and humane system.
While most encounters were on the Texas border, Arizona saw increases too. Apprehensions in the Tucson and Yuma sectors of the border jumped from 82,000 in fiscal 2020 to more than 312,000 in fiscal 21. In Washington, Kimberly Silverio Bautista, Cronkite News.
Moderna announced today that a low dose of their COVID-19 vaccine appears to be safe and effective in kids ages 6 to 11. Pfizer's kid vaccine is undergoing the same evaluation by the Food and Drug Administration for kids ages 5 to 10, and it's closer to use. Moderna is still waiting to offer the vaccine to teens ages 12 to 17. The U.S. is expected to begin vaccinating kids ages 5 to 11 with the low Pfizer dose as early as November. Moderna hopes to follow soon after.
Arizona has the highest rate of teacher turnovers in the nation at 19%. The state is also facing a current teacher shortage. This morning, Arizona K-12 Center at Northern Arizona University and the Arizona Department of Education came together to announce the launch of Arizona's first teacher residency program. A $5 million grant made the program possible. The Arizona residency will start in Phoenix by first partnering with Title I elementary school districts, then will expand to high schools and rural areas.
Now is the time to establish a teacher residency program as another meaningful solution to addressing our teacher shortage in Arizona. It will recruit, prepare, support, and retain more high-quality teachers, starting in our communities of greatest need.
The Arizona Teacher Residency is a 2-year program which includes a year-long apprenticeship under a teacher before a year of being a teacher. Recent college grads with any degree and those who want to switch careers can apply this winter. Residents will receive a living stipend, and those who complete this program will receive a master's degree from Northern Arizona University.
Paying for college tuition, rent, and books can leave many students strapped for cash. So much so, a survey done by the Hope Center found that 3 in 5 college students experience food insecurity. Reporter Alyssa Stoney talked with local food banks as well as ASU students about the importance of addressing the issues.
The survey was completed by nearly 200,000 college students and found that about 29% of students at four-year universities struggled with food insecurities and hunger.
There is very much a stereotype of the quote-unquote broke college student, and people kind of see it as a joke, a norm, but it shouldn't be a norm.
Maya Galvin recently graduated from Arizona State University and experienced food insecurity. She now works with the United Food Bank to ensure other students get the resources they need.
So being able to learn the skills that I did through my program and then come out into the community and be able to help other students and then other community members is really important to me, just because I know where they're coming from.
The United Food Bank partnered with colleges across Arizona, including ASU, to host mobile food distribution sites on the campuses.
The more we become aware of it, the higher and higher level we're trying to address it at. That's why we've hired somebody full-time to look at student hunger.
College hunger in universities is a taboo topic, and United Food Bank wants to bring awareness to the problem to help solve it.
School itself is something that is very much affected by food insecurity, so students who are food insecure don't have the brain power to actually do the school they're supposed to be doing.
ASU addresses the problem through their Pitchfork Pantry, which is a food pantry for students to come get the food essentials they need.
So important to have resources like this, connect students with resources beyond even just emergency food resources, is because it is such a prevalent problem.
Pacheco said the pantry has grown over time as students realize it is a safe place for them to come and get the essentials they need.
We have food for you. We just want to be a space for you to receive the resources that you need.
ASU students can visit the pantry's Instagram page, ASU Pitchfork Pantry, for more information on how to receive the food from the pantry. In the studio, Alyssa Stoney, Cronkite News.
Supply chain issues have been affecting ports on the coast for months. Now we're starting to see these supply chain issues start to affect Valley School cafeterias. According to Sabrina Quivley, the food nutrition director for Mesa Public Schools, she says that some of the biggest issues have been the wait times to get products in. Instead of 1 to 2 weeks, it can now be up to 15 weeks. Quivley spoke to KTAR about the issue. The district is also seeing weekly price increases as high as 40% on some items. In response to this problem, many school districts are now placing orders for next year's food to avoid these shortages from happening in the future.
Coming up, an after-school program is helping educate students on the importance of using their voice. After the break, we'll learn how Unidas is helping students run grant programs to address social justice issues.
She's the White House correspondent for the PBS NewsHour.
It has been a historic and traumatic week in Washington, D.C.
Former reporter for the New York Times, political analyst for NBC, and multimedia journalist at USA Today.
Join me this week and every week for a critical look at this week's top news stories.
Yamiche Alcindor, the new moderator of Washington Week.
Friday nights at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream. For the first time ever, our most popular programs have been selected just for you.
But there's so much more.
Whether you like to travel,
wow,
feast,
and calories don't count.
Look back.
That is me.
Discover.
And you know the whole story.
There's something for everyone.
Let's get to it right away.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
Former Arizona Attorney General Grant Woods passed away unexpectedly over the weekend. Woods served as the Attorney General from 1991 to 1999. He was a longtime friend of former Arizona Senator John McCain and gave the eulogy at McCain's funeral. Since Woods' passing, many in the political community here in Arizona have taken to social media to give their condolences and pay their tributes. His family says Woods died from a heart attack on Saturday. He was 67 years old.
The Arizona Commission of Wrestling is a female-owned wrestling league right here in Phoenix. As Brianna Isbell shows us, the league brings fascinating Hispanic culture directly to our backyard.
Rosa Pastrana is the CEO and founder of the Arizona Commission of Wrestling. Pastrana is not only a Latina wrestler, but she's also a female leader and role model within her community. Rosa Pastrana is the woman behind it all, and her passion is wrestling.
As women, we can reach our goals, especially in this country. We have so many opportunities. I won't give up easily. I like to keep working hard to achieve my dream.
Since founded in 2014, Pastrana has continued to provide the opportunity to wrestlers to compete against the top lucha libre competitors right here in her very own backyard.
This is a spectacular sport. Families of all ages love this sport. This is a Mexican tradition.
These wrestlers all have one thing in common. That is that Pastrana has helped them to reach their dreams.
She brings every known Mexican wrestler here, and we wrestle against them. She gives us the opportunity to wrestle with them.
However, things have not been so easy for Pastrana.
There are just a few women who are involved with this sport. Most of them are male. It has been hard for me because of that fact. One is because I am a woman, and the other is because I am Latina.
Pastrana says females deserve better.
Females do not make the same amount of money as men. They deserve better pay. They deserve to be treated better. Someone needs to help them.
More than anything, Pastrana wants to be an example to younger generations. Giving back and helping others is what matters most.
We are trying to give an example to our children that life is not just about money and that we are here to contribute to this country.
Between creating her very own wrestling organization from the ground up to providing Hispanic culture and opportunity here in the U.S., Rosa Pastrana is a role model to many and a hero to others. In the newsroom, I'm Brianna Isbell.
Addressing social justice issues that involve young teens may be a challenge, but this Tucson organization is breaking the ice and having important discussions with teens in the area. Cronkite News reporter Milan Andrade explains how this program is making a difference in the life of this young advocates.
While in high school, teens participate in various social topics. Unidas, which is an after-school program, a part of the Women's Foundation for the state of Arizona, helps educate students on the importance of their voice.
It's to learn about social justice. It's also an opportunity for participants to amplify their voices. And also it's an opportunity to learn how to come to a consensus about a topic.
On average, there are about 15 students who participate in the club, ranging from 9th to 12th grade. Due to the pandemic, club meetings occur virtually, and
while on Zoom, women and members socialized as women take the time to talk about important social issues with one another.
We're all very opinionated. I'm glad. It's awesome. But the cool thing is we have the opinions, but then we can go out and do stuff with it. Like, we have our opinions. We all have our beliefs about how we want the world to be a better place, how we want this community to be better. And we get to write a grant to support that. So we get to go out into the community and make those changes happen. And I think being able to do that, it's very empowering, completely life-changing program, to put it short.
Club members received $5,000 from local private supporting foundations to continue philanthropy work with organizations of their choice. In Tucson, Milan Andrade, Cronkite News.
Unidas participants get to help review grant applicants, interview organizations, and choose who will get each grant. The group says it helps them learn how to make decisions that will have a direct impact on their community, teaching them leadership skills along the way.
There's a cold front on the way, bringing in cooler October temperatures. Isabella Fredrickson is in the Cronkite News Weather Center with more.
Taking a look at our futurecast, we are going to be seeing some bands of moisture moving across the southwest region coming from California. This activity is going to be bringing cooler temperatures and an increased activity in some wind. Moving on to our futurecast of the state of Arizona, again, we are going to be seeing some wind and rain activity, especially up north. This is going to be bringing some chances of rain and even a chance of snow in those higher elevation places. As we take a look at our high temperatures for tomorrow, the southwest region that is normally a lot hotter in temperatures is going to be cooler again from that activity. Our hottest temperature is going to be down in Yuma at only 79 degrees. Again, up north, we are looking at much cooler temperatures, and our coolest tomorrow is going to be in the Grand Canyon at only 48 degrees. Finally, taking a look at our 8-day forecast, while the next 3 days are going to be sunny, as we move on to Sunday, we are going to start seeing some cloud activity, and that is going to continue into the rest of the week. Isabella Fredrickson in the Weather Center.
I'm Raya Graves. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. Co-head coaches at Desert Edge High School are already a little different. How the pair of twins are breaking barriers in the Valley.
Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream. For the first time ever, our most popular programs have been selected just for you.
But there's so much more.
Whether you like to travel,
Wow.
feast,
And calories don't count.
look back,
That is me.
discover,
And you know the whole story.
there's something for everyone.
Let's get to it right away.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
What you get from Washington Week that you will not get anywhere else are the best and the brightest reporters from different media companies, and they're able to have a real conversation about things that are happening in Washington and around the country. But it's also a show about issues that are relevant to different communities.
How do you think that?
As the moderator, I feel this deep responsibility to bring in those other perspectives so that people understand how power and politics impact their daily lives.
Friday nights at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back. I'm Raya Graves, and here is your Cronkite Sports Report. There are not many schools that can say they have two head coaches on one team, but that's the case for One Valley High School. Cronkite News reporter Zach Larson has a story on how much these coaches are making a difference.
Meet the Carter twins. The Northern California natives have made an impact on the Valley since their arrival as they bring a unique style of coaching to Desert Edge High School as co-head coaches.
Each one of them has their own way of doing things. You could tell that they bounce a lot of ideas off of each other. It's a great dynamic. I mean, these guys make it work.
On game day, you'll find Mark here on the sidelines calling plays for the offense. And up here is where you'll find Marcus dialing up the defensive plays. But the two wouldn't be here today if it weren't for a friendly bet made over 15 years ago.
We had like a friendly wager. You know, I was at Cactus High School at the time. And we just made a bet, said, hey, you know, whoever teams finish the best, either I come back to California or you come back to Arizona.
Mark won and Marcus moved to Arizona. They bumped around as assistant coaches before landing their first head coaching gig at South Mountain in 2016. Next stop was Goodyear, where they led the Scorpions to an undefeated regular season in 2020.
There's a lot of talk and a lot of people who not only one didn't think we deserved the job, and number two didn't think we can handle the job because we were at South Mountain, so it's a different beast.
Their success together has made them inseparable when coaching a football team.
I couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else. There's been times where I've had to do it by myself, and it was just hard, and I needed help from, assistant coaches and stuff like that.
The Carters are the first African-American head coaches to make it to the Open Division playoffs and make up only a small minority of black football head coaches in the state of Arizona.
All the top administrators are white, from all the top schools are white. All the top superintendents are white, from all the top schools and districts are white. So it's just gonna take for more people to take a chance on somebody that looks like us in order for us to get an opportunity.
And the Carter twins are making the most of their opportunity as they find success together and demonstrate how their bond is just as important as winning. In Goodyear, Zachary Larson, Cronkite News.
The Suns split a pair of road games over the weekend. They beat the Lakers in LA on Friday before losing by nearly 30 points to the Trailblazers in Portland on Saturday. But it is off-the-court news that is clouding the Suns' start to the season. The Suns have been responding to reports of a soon-to-be-published story about Suns owner Robert Sarver. In a statement released Friday, Sarver, Suns general manager James Jones, and president and CEO Jason Rowley said in part, "We understand that ESPN is considering publishing a story that makes completely baseless claims. We are preparing our response and urge everyone not to rush to judgment." Some of the allegations in the story include racism and gender discrimination. Head coach Monty Williams was asked about the alleged story last Friday.
One, I'm not going to talk about any of that, and nothing will invade or erode our culture. That's something that we've said from day one. Wins, losses, we get to play basketball, we get to hoop, and that's not going to change.
Meanwhile, on the ice, the Coyotes are off to a cold start, still looking for their first win. Their 3-0 loss to the Islanders on Saturday was the first time they've been shut out this year. They are currently underway in Florida, taking on the 5-0 Florida Panthers. And the Rising could not clinch the Western Conference regular season title on Saturday as they played to a 1-1 draw against Sacramento Republic FC. The result keeps their 19-game home unbeaten streak alive, but they will need to win next week and get some help to win another title. And that's going to do it for today's Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Camila and Ryan.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we're talking about media literacy. We'll explain the easy steps you can take to fact check what you're sharing on social media, and that's next.
Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream. For the first time ever, our most popular programs have been selected just for you.
But there's so much more.
Whether you like to travel,
Wow.
feast,
And calories don't count.
look back,
That is me.
discover,
You know the whole story.
there's something for everyone.
Let's get to it right away.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
What you get from Washington Week that you will not get anywhere else are the best and the brightest reporters from different media companies, and they're able to have a real conversation about things that are happening in Washington and around the country. But it's also a show about issues that are relevant to different communities.
How do you think that?
As the moderator, I feel this deep responsibility to bring in those other perspectives so that people understand how power and politics impact their daily lives.
Friday nights at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
All this week, we're highlighting efforts to stop misinformation. It's all part of Media Literacy Week. Tonight, Amna Saban has the steps you can take to find facts before sharing news on social media.
With so much information at our fingertips, it can be tough to find reliable content. Following this process and using your best judgment when consuming information online can help stop the spread of misinformation. A technique called SIFT, developed by University of Washington State professor Mike Caulfield, gives us a breakdown on how to take in this information. It stands for stop, investigate the source, find better coverage, and trace claims, quotes, and media to the original context. Step 1. Find information from trustworthy sources. Seeking news from credible sources is an important piece to understanding the facts and to better forming your own opinions. That takes us into step 2. Get your information from multiple sources. Not all publications cover issues the same way. It's important not to put all your eggs into one basket. The last step you can take is to verify questionable claims. Taking these small steps each day can help us all become better informed media users.
For more on Media Literacy Week, as well as top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.